So I picked up the Char Futur 4 today from the Season Pass. Figured I'd give you guys a little preview what you can expect from this tank in case you're in the same boat as I am and you're looking what to pick up with your remaining tokens for the year. This French medium has a 105mm 390 damage autoloader with a 4-round clip. It's able to put out 1560 damage in 12 seconds. Has strong standard pen at 264, good P pen at 330. Did feel, however, but both the inner clip and full reload were a bit long on this tank, which does come out with my setup at 36 seconds. This is the initial equipment I slapped on it, and like I said, I did get it today, so I've only played a few battles in it. But I decided to go with a turbo, vents, and the improved aiming, as well as put food on it. For upsides, we do get some great mobility, as well as decent camo, if you have a camo crew as I do. Given that this is a 3-member crew with a French medium, I was able to slide my batch hat crew in here, which has 4.5 skills for the most part. Well, like I said, I only played a couple matches in this, but I feel it's pretty strong. But I do have one. It was actually my first match, funny enough. That was a pretty strong one to show off the strengths and weaknesses that I felt playing this tank. In it, I'll also talk about my philosophy on this tank and how it can be pretty good situationally, especially as a support medium tank. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the first match that I played in this tank, I ended up getting Redshire with exceptionally good matchmaking on the south side. Based on the stats that I saw in this tank, I'm thinking that I need to play this in a lot more of a support role, but it can definitely be used as a little bit of like a mini assassin, so I'm looking at playing it kind of akin to the Leopard, and then trying to go in and make moves kind of like a batch hat would. And given that I'm one of the few tier 9s, I'm trying to make a little bit more of an aggressive play in the scouting realm. Able to, actually it was that T-71 that was able to get that Leopard spotted. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a shot in on him. I see that I'm spotted there. Luckily the low profile makes that Scorpion miss, and I try to go for shots in the Brask, but realized then that I do not have anywhere near the gun compression that I needed to make those shots safely. Able to pick up some assistance right here. Brask guy just decides that his game's over and he just wants to take his anger out on me. So he shoots me twice. Make sure that he's not going to get around me, and put a third round into him pretty quickly, and I'm able to take him out of the game. At this point I pop a reload and I'm looking at the map, trying to decide what my next play should be. Right here, I'm not liking this side a whole lot with only our T-34 there, IS-3, T-20 for good support in case anybody tries to push over on me. I feel a bit uncomfortable, especially in this tank with how long of a reload and how minimal your clip damage really can boil down when you're in like in a 1v1 situation. I decided to rotate out and help the heavy side, or help the heavies win this offside real quick. Kind of like a batch out would, in the hopes that they'll be able to push over and we'll be able to converge on all of the tanks that will be in the west and northwest side of the map. Given that I do know I'm fighting heavies, I want to load the heat rounds just so that I can have that little bit of extra penetration. And at this point, I see the AMX working at 112. So I decide I'm just going to wait until that 50 TP fires, and I'm going to go in and help him out. I see the 50 TP fires, go in, kill that 112. And now I know that M4 is going to be able to push around, break that 50 TP's turret. For whatever reason right here, I thought that 50 TP shot. So I go in for a round. And he shoots me, and I'm like, oh well. And I'm able to put a couple rounds into him, and he gets taken out. And gets safe, so I don't have to worry about a TD. We're already shooting at me right now. And at this point, I'm going to start working this ridge line, try to see if I can spot anything, or help the boys out if they spot something. Did see that I was spotted there and got a little disconcerted. Not sure exactly what spotted me yet. for whatever reason, already shooting at me. I really wanted some of this free damage right here, and I'm able to take out that 1375. At this point, I did make a bit of a misplay right here with my HP. I kind of got tunnel visioned on that SM. Wanted to make sure he wasn't going to do too much damage to the M4, get around him, anything like that. And I ended up taking a side shot from the Leopard, and I got lucky that that Scorpion only tracked me. Didn't do any damage, otherwise I would have been pretty spooked right now with not a whole lot of HP. And still a fairly losable game. We're only up 3 tanks and 2000 HP. Got spotted again. I'm even more confused at this point exactly what was spotting me, because I know that Scorpion and SU that are on that ridge shouldn't be able to, or even the Leopard should be able to spot me. But oh well, I'm waiting for my reload. It was at this point, or I shouldn't say it was at this point, but during this game, it felt like it was definitely pretty long, especially for the 1560 damage that you're getting out of this clip with the long inner clip. But I decided to wrap around the south side of this mountain, going through the river, make sure I was absolutely safe. Fortunately, I'm driving like I'm a little drunk, and I decided to come up here, play these ridge lines, try to help the guys out on the west side, because like I said, this is still definitely a losable game, and I need to get my tank into the fight and try to help them as best I can to make sure we don't lose it. Decided to go for this bush, try to spot the 53 TP. I see that light tank behind me, got a little concerned I might have been spotted. Luckily I wasn't, and turns out that's what was lighting me in the mid, and I just didn't get close enough to see him. End up shooting at his corpse. Got a little mad, did an angry reload there. In hindsight, I shouldn't have done that, because I should have been able to get a shot on that 53 TP. But, oh well, I digress. I'm just sitting here waiting for the reload, and then I'll be able to push up and get some rounds onto him. Help out our Yak Panther and our T-32 secure the western part of the map. And then we can start working on those tanks on the ridge in the middle. I'm able to get loaded. Because of the length of the reload, I'm really making sure that I choose my shots here. And felt like the inner clip was that was one of the moments that I felt like the inner clip was really pretty long. A lot of other tanks I would have been able to get 2 rounds out on him. Even some tier 8s like the Progetto 46, I would have been able to get 2 rounds out in that situation. But oh well, he's taken out of the game. I advance to this next hill. I'm going to take a micro poke out of here, see if I spot anything. Didn't spot anything, or get spotted. So I decide that's not the flank I want to play on this, and I start rotating to the right. T-20 pops up, and I'm not able to get a round out on him. I'm going to use this rock on my right for cover against anything that might be to my right. I'm going to take some rounds at this T-112. And I'm not able to take him out. Already takes him out for me. So I've still got 2 rounds left. And at this point, it's really just clean up. We've got this game won. Go for the track shot. I'm able to track him. He's just doesn't care about me right now for whatever reason. He's hyper focused on that M4. And the boys are able to take him out. Pop and reload now. And driving like an idiot. Just waiting for that to come up so that I can try to get some of the final damage off this SU. He takes out that IS-3, and my reload's finally up. Put a round into him, get behind cover. See that I'm not lit. Go for the second one. Didn't aim it quite well enough. And the M4 rams him to death like an absolute shad. The things that I think this replay really highlighted well was the great mobility that this tank has. I was able to rotate from one flank to the other and get into position and help these guys out before anybody on the west side had really noticed I was gone. and before this fight could get any worse or get stalled even further. So we were able to win this side of the map, wrap around, and once we were done that, I was able to rotate out again, come up here, take out a tank here, so we can continue to win this side, and then we can finish up everything else in the middle. On top of that, I think it does highlight just how good this gun can be in the right situations. And onto the post-game stats. For the post-game stats, I was able to pick up 3 kills, 5,200 damage, 873 assistance. I was able to spot 1 tank, which was that Scorpion, and that was good enough for a high caliber and a Confederate medal. Fortunately, it was only good enough for the first class badge, but I'll take it for being the first game I've ever played in this tank. Given that I had high caliber, had top damage, I just barely stole it from this poor guy. I'm sorry about that. And shot 16 times, hit 14 for 14. Came out with a decent amount of credits at 80,000 and 1,172 base XP, which, given that I had the double as well as the triple, was able to come out with 12,000 XP. For my final thoughts, with how small of a sample size of games I've played in it, I can't say for sure this is an absolute pickup above everything else, or if it's a grab if you have extra tokens kind of tank. What I will say is that I've enjoyed playing it, and if this is the type of tank that suits your playstyle, go for it. However, this tank, I feel, is a bit more advanced, and if this isn't your playstyle, you're going to be likely to struggle in it. And something like the Lorraine or 777 might be up your alley a little bit more. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Good luck in your games, and Godspeed.